All right, folks, we do apologize for some technical difficulties. We're having some bad luck this year at the Reno-Sparks Convention Center, but here we go. And we're going to get through this one way or the other. These teams deserve to be showcased here at the Women's Championships, and we have a plan B in our pockets here for the rest of the way if needed. But right now, welcome back. This is Matt Kenazar and Aaron Smith, and we're live at the 2014 USBC Women's Championships. Again, we're at the Reno-Sparks Convention Center for the second consecutive year. And right now we're here to watch Eagles Edge Pro Shop, the 2013 Scratch Team Champion. And some talented players here trying to make it 2 years in a row and 3 in recent history. Of course, Joey Biondo looking for a title in the 4th consecutive year. In between team titles, she took home an all-events title as well. So they were talking about that earlier, a little nerves and pressure there, of course, to add her name to the record books once again. But 8 talented players here, the new era at the Women's Championships, 4-player teams for the first time in history. They were the last 5-player team to win here at the WC. And let's see if they can usher in the era with another victory. Aaron Smith, here we go.
Here we go indeed, man. All right, that's better. We can kind of hear me now. All right, certainly so. 2 fantastic teams here. Eagles Edge Pro Shop, just running down the lineup real quick. Joey Biondo leading off, followed by Keri Caduto, Tina Becke, and Jonquay Armon. They're paired up with a very talented group out of Wisconsin. Vice, IT Grips, Rochelle Roventini, Jennifer Grisham, Shannon Lubinsky, and Roxanne George.
All right, so a lot of folks on hand, some talented players here to watch these young ladies compete here at the Reno-Sparks Convention Center. Of course, they've made some names for themselves here on the championship lanes in recent years, and always a threat. Last year, they shot the lights out here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we apologize for the technical difficulties. I believe the RSCC is haunted. Does not want us to succeed here in our live streaming efforts here in 2014, but we are back in business. We're going to change the setup a little bit. We're going to go with a 2-camera setup. And we're going to have the action on one shot and the scoreboards on the other. And that's how it's going to work the rest of the way. We'll flip back and forth to show you what's happening score-wise. And we'll have an update on what number these ladies are chasing here in just a minute. But we are watching Eagles Edge Pro Shop, the last 5-player scratch team champion here at the Women's Championships. They took home the title last year with a 33-57 total. Their second title in 3 years. And in the year in between, leadoff bowler Joey Biondo took home an all-events title, and she's now on the lanes looking for 4 consecutive years with a win here at the Women's Championships. In case you missed it before, this is Matt Cannizzaro and Aaron Smith fighting through some challenges here at the RSCC, but we are live at the 2014 USBC Women's Championships. Aaron Smith taking a deep breath as we settle in for the second half of game number 1. Again, we apologize for the technical difficulties, but things are working at the moment. We're glad to be here, showcasing this great event in the fantastic venue here inside the convention center. Great opportunity for all of these ladies to participate in this event as well as the Open Championships. I'm sure we'll see them over there in the next couple of days as well. But right now, it's all about trying to go back-to-back here on the championship lanes. And we'll have all their scores and the history here at the Women's Championships as we proceed through these 3 games. Aaron Smith, how's it looking on your end of the table there?
It's better now, Matt. Much better now. Looks like we got our issues figured out, so right now we can watch Joey Biondo here in the 5th frame. Looking down at the approach after that one, leaving the fast 8. She started with the first 3 strikes, working on a spare in the 4th. We are in the 5th frame. We'll go back and forth between the cameras on the scoreboard when we get a chance. Once again, thank you everyone for tuning in, spending some time on a Wednesday evening here with the smooth stylings of Matt Cannizzaro and Aaron Smith at the RSCC. Last year, Eagles Edge Pro Shop came firing out of the gates, shooting the 3rd highest team game in tournament history, 12:07, to kick things off right here live on BowlTV. They followed that up with a 10:63, and finally a 10:87 in the finale to reach that 33-57 number, the 2nd highest in tournament history. I'm not sure if we got it across before the audio difficulties kicked in, but as many of you may remember from last year, in the middle of that 3rd game, we suffered a power outage. So maybe these technical difficulties are it's a good sign for the Eagles Edge bunch. If something's going wrong, they're scoring well. But we'll see how it pans out. They were able to bounce back after that power outage of probably about 15-20 minutes. Able to get back in the groove of things, and they were able to put up a score that was untouched the rest of the way out. For the ladies on Eagles Edge, a combined 11 Women's Championships titles. So certainly an accomplished group here. Expect to see some big numbers, and the companion team, very talented bunch out of the Wisconsin group. Matt, you were talking about earlier, these ladies bowl a lot of tournaments across the Midwest. So that camaraderie, that chemistry is going to be apparent from the get-go here. So
yeah, certainly if you follow women's bowling in the Midwest, Wisconsin, Illinois, these are some familiar names. And if you're lucky enough to be friends with them on social media now that we've entered into that part of history where everything is electronic and social, you'll see, week in and week out, they're on the lane somewhere, finding success, bowling together, whether it's doubles, trios, team events. It's always one of them striking and winning. Certainly, if you said any of their names anywhere in the Midwest, some folks will know exactly who you're talking about. And of course, they've made names for themselves here at the Women's Championships. And looking to add to that success in the new era once again. 4-player teams for the first time in history. And the missing link, Tracy Lungsford, was the odd person out given the new format, but it sounds like she landed on her feet pretty well and has a talented group coming in here.
She does. Tracy's going to be bowling with another solid group out of the Chicagoland area, featuring Karen Evans, who rolled a 300 here at the 2012 event. She's actually going to be bowling queens as well. I don't believe the rest of these ladies, at least on the Eagles Edge group, is going to be back for the queens at the end of June at the National Bowling Stadium. So I believe that did factor into the decision when it was all said and done. Tough start for Armon so far. That's her 3rd open. 5 frames after Keri's shot here. We'll take a look at the scoreboard.
Well, Aaron, if you look at Jonquay, she's got her wrist taped up pretty well, and she's got her thumb, it looks like, in a cup of ice. So perhaps the travel to Reno not kind. But if we get any details on what's going on down there, certainly we'll let everybody know what's happening and see if the rest of the team can hold her up here in 2014.
The number of these ladies are chasing 25.55. Once again, the change to 4-player teams, the scores are going to sound a little bit different than in the past. We've obviously mentioned the 33.57 quite a few times. That would be a whole bunch if they put up that number again. But 25.55, Junior Team USA support 1 out of Lincoln, California. Set that mark just after the Women's Championships got back up and running after the X-Bowling Intercollegiate Team and Singles Championships wrapped up here at the RSCC. So it's been holding on to that number for getting close to a month here. So we've actually only had 2 other teams crack the par mark, if you will, of 2,400 in the Diamond division. So we'll see how these ladies can fare on this 41-foot pattern today, or tonight.
All right, so we got the word out, trying to figure out what's happening there with Jonquay and any other details we have along the way as far as equipment or anything that we can offer to help enhance what you're seeing here. Of course, we're trying to showcase the USBC Women's Championship, some of the best players in the Midwest here, trying to get it done on the big stage in 2014. This is our second broadcast from the Women's Championships this year. We had a talented group from Minnesota, the Lynn's Northern Stars, kick off the coverage for the year. And this year with the USBC Queens also in town at the end of June, first week in July. A lot of the top players are waiting until that part of the event to come out and bowl. So we're essentially going to camp out here during that week and certainly showcase some of the best women in the world at that point. We'll have a few here and there between now and then. Right now you're watching the 2013 Scratch Team Champion Eagles Edge Pro Shop and their talented companion team, Vice It Grips. It, of course, the interchangeable thumb, a product of Vice. Hopefully Jonquay has one of those in right now. Going to the bigger size maybe. See if she can settle in here and get things going as her team's anchor. Right now, leadoff bowler Joey Biondo looking to add her name to the record books once again with a title in the 4th consecutive year. And Aaron is going to pop open the record books right now, and it's a very short list of young ladies who have accomplished that feat. 3 titles already, consecutively, very impressive, but possibly adding a 4th, almost unprecedented.
A total of 9 bowlers have accomplished the feat of winning a title 3 consecutive tournaments. The last before Joey being Leanne Holzenberger, USBC Hall of Famer. Between 2005 and 2007, she went on a run where she won actually every event over the course of that time span, in team, doubles, singles, and all events. But if Joey was able to find her way into the lead once again and take home a women's championships title, she would join Agnes Higgins, Marie Warmbier, Dorothy Fothergill, and Millie Ignizio. 3 of those ladies are Hall of Famers. It's hard to argue against Agnes joining them someday. She's got 6 titles, I believe, here at the Women's Championships overall. But the feat hasn't been accomplished since 1973. Fothergill and Ignizio were actually on the same team, and they went on a 4-year stretch from 1970 to 1973 where they basically just won everything, which is pretty nice. That's the goal. But yeah, so very elite company that Joey is looking to join here. Right now we're already in the, we're moving right along in the, moving in the 7th frame.
All right, once again, with tonight's technical difficulties, we're looking at just 2 cameras, so we don't have our usual 3 camera setup right now. We're going to be switching back and forth between the action and the scoreboard, so you can have a look at what's going on out there on the lanes. Where right now we're behind lanes 27 and 28 here at the Reno-Sparks Convention Center, a beautiful 44-lane facility put together by Greg Moore and his talented team as they transformed this building from the ground up. Just an empty convention center. And about 45 days later, this great facility with our Daxtronics scoreboards, the world's largest mobile scoreboard of its kind. And the great benefit is that we were able to put this facility in place in 2013 and leave everything. Just turned off the lights between 13 and 14, came back, and everything was ready to go. Of course, we tweaked the design a little bit to make it look special for 2014. And a great opportunity to have both major tournaments in the same host city last year for the first time in history, and of course now back-to-back. So a lot of these players will spend time at both venues. The USBC Open Championships, of course, being contested at the National Bowling Stadium, downtown Reno. That is the 111th running of the Open Championships, and that event kicked off February 28th. Will run until July 13th. The Women's Championships opened up on April 11th and will close the doors on June 30th. A lot of bowling yet to come. A lot of live streaming action from both events. If you're curious about the upcoming schedule, you can check that out on bowl.com on the right side of your screen, or visit either tournament page, the USBC Open or Women's Championships. Go to the information tab and you'll find the live stream schedule and many other great details. News and notes. We had a lot of news this week from both events, so certainly getting the word out about all the great players coming through here at the Convention Center. And we are just rolling along here. So we're in the 8th frame of game number 1. Of course, the 3-game team event. And big numbers. They're going to need 2,500 plus if they're going to make it back-to-back team titles. They were the last 5-player scratch team champion, and now looking to make it the first in the 4-player era.
All right, stepping up on 28, Becke, 2-time titleist here with this group of ladies, 2 team titles. Delivers in the 8th frame, 3 strikes so far for Eagles Edge Pro Shot. We'll see if Jennifer Grisham can match on 27. Great shot there. Double to set up the 8th. But yeah, over the past few years, these ladies have been a common sight on the leaderboards here at the Women's Championships. Last year in doubles, Keri Caduto and Becke ended up 3rd overall in the scratch and diamond portion. Jonquay, of course, the 2001 Classic All Events champion. Keri was also a member of the 2005 Classic Team Champions. And then Joey, since 2011, with obviously the scratch and the diamond portion of the event, 12 top 10s overall in that time frame, and has averaged more than 230 on the tournament lanes. So that's a pretty amazing feat to come out here. 3 different venues as well, so Syracuse, the National Bowling Stadium, and of course the Reno-Sparks Convention Center. So she's shown the versatility. Obviously, she's been tough to beat for a long time, back from her days on Team USA.
All right, we made another snafu. We're gonna not tell anybody about it, but we'll admit to our mistakes. The USBC Women's Championships is where we are right now, behind lanes 27 and 28 at the Reno-Sparks Convention Center. Our screen set otherwise, and after 3 resets and the removal of 1 camera, we were telling the world there this was the Open Championships, but we are in fact at the USBC Women's Championships watching Eagles Edge Pro Shop 2013 Scratch Team Champion. Looking to make it back-to-back titles and start the new 4-player era here with another win.
When it rains, it pours sometimes. If I was a betting man, I would say Joey is throwing a roto grip disturb. That's actually what she used last year in team event, if I recall correctly. So she was in the 720s last year, right out of the gates. Didn't like that one off her hand. We received 3-6-10. Never gave it a chance to, oh, got the 10 out. But never gave it a chance to get right there. Shakes her head. She'd like to cover that up, but that looks like the ball of choice for today. Andy Zumwalt watching the action. He's working the storm booth nowadays. Got a few of those. A few of the storm guys watching this group. Wrap up with the 9th frame here, Matt. I'll go ahead and switch to the scoreboard camera. Keri Caduto is the 2nd bowler for Eagles Edge, while Shannon Levinsky is getting ready to step up on 28. She's the 3rd bowler for the Vice Interchangeable Thumb Grips Group out of Waukesha, Wisconsin. Shot there by Lewinsky to set up Roxanne George, the anchor for the Vice team.
Looks like some approach issues up there for Caduto. Misses the 4-7. See if we need to get some lane maintenance out here to check things out, but we'll see. Our hottest day of the year today here in Reno. We got in the car to head over to downtown there, and it was about 90 degrees in the car at least. So the weather is all over the place. Almost snowed last week, a little bit of rain, but here we are, beautiful day here in the biggest little city in the world, but perhaps a little humidity here in the convention center. Didn't bother Tina Becke on that shot as she throws the double. See if Jonquay can get back on track here. Had a rough start here in game number 1, working on a strike in the 8th frame. She's the anchor bowler, so she's the one.
And we'll switch over to the other camera after we see the result here. Another look at the approach. It's able to strike.
She liked that one. Got the crowd behind her. I sent one of our scouts down to see what was going on, and looks like it could have just been a little bit of swelling there. Maybe travel not kind.
It's a great shot by Biondo. Start the 10th frame. She can be in the 240s here.
Certainly expect nothing less after the run that she's been on the last few years.
Safest bet in town.
Got to watch them bowl in 2011. She had a great singles event. Easily could have been the all events champion that year as well.
She mixes them up. Get into the 240s there with decent count. All three in the 10th for Joey Biondo. They're at 244 in the opener. Once again, both these teams chasing at 25-55, which is on top of the diamond standings. Rochelle will be at 187 after her fill ball there.
All right, looks like things have smoothed out on the technology side of things here. Appreciate everybody bearing with us through all of that. And we'd like to welcome you to tonight's BowlTV broadcast at the Reno-Sparks Convention Center. Two great teams here at the Women's Championships. Glad to showcase some terrific talent from the Midwest as they make their run here in 2014. Looks like some familiar names in the chat room as well, so thanks for being here once again. Take a quick peek in the rundown. Chris Shipman, one of our biggest fans, always reaching out, trying to learn much as he can about these events and what we do. We appreciate that support. We saw a shout out from Dave Armstrong. He knows these players well from back in Illinois.
Dave's only a few days away from making his trip out here. The Armstrong printing crew will be out here before you know it. Horton Nation making it out.
Lindsay Siegel stopping by to say hello and watch some of her friends and teammates. Welcome, Lindsay. All right, so game one coming to a close here on lanes 27 and 28.
All right, we have some big scores as well out here. Once again, Joey finished with 244. Shannon Levinsky 214, and Roxanne George still has 259 out there. That's 3 in a row for Jonquay getting warmed up out there after potentially some issues with their thumb. Shot by Roxanne there, but the 10-pin stance, so she'll be in the 240s. Get the scoreboard up in just a second after they wrap up here.
For those of you who are familiar with the Women's Championships and some of the changes we've been through in the last few years, of course, 2010, the very first convention center build at the WC. We were in El Paso, Texas, then off to Syracuse, New York in 2011. In 2010 was also the introduction of handicap and some new divisions at the Women's Championships, but now we're back to all scratch. So we've got some new divisions here in 2014, 4 divisions in the team event, 6 for doubles and singles, all average based. And with the new setup, you can also see that on the scoreboard.
So we got the scoreboard up there right now. $7.99 for Eagles Edge Pro Shop. And it's cut off right now at 8:28 for Vice Interchangeable Thumbs. So we're all right, getting ready for game number 2 here. As Joey steps up to kick off game 2, delivers a strike. A 3-time champion performing once again on the live stream. She led the way last year for Eagles Edge Pro Shop with their 33.57. It was in the 720s.
All right, so game 2 underway. Totals for game 1, 799 for Eagles Edge and 828 for Vice It Grips. But 3 for 3 for Eagles Edge. Tina Becke follows up Biondo and Caduto. So 3 team strikes here to start game number 2. Jen Grisham looking at the 2-8-10. She'll get 2. Jonquay goes high. She struggled early. Had her thumb in a cup of ice. Seemed to settle down a little bit towards the end of game number 1. She'll shoot at the 3-6-10. Shannon Lebinsky with the flat dime on lane 27. If you're just joining us, thank you for being here tonight, Wednesday night. This is Matt Canizaro and Aaron Smith live at the 2014 USBC Women's Championships. 2013 Team Scratch Champion. Eagles Edge Pro Shop. Back on the lanes. 3 years of continued success. Looking to extend that here.
I talked to Joey a little bit before they started bowling today, and really didn't say they had too much of a game plan out there, just kind of figure it out the 10 minutes of practice that they have. So he said not quite the start that they had last year, but off to a strong start here in game 2. 3 out of 4 to kick off the first frame. So we'll see if they can use the momentum from that. As Roxanne George delivers another strike, she led the way. 248, high on the pair. Pin stands for Biondo. Once again, we want to thank everyone for taking some time out of their busy schedule to join us here live on BowlTV. Almost nearly 300 people tuning in right now. So thanks for the support, and of course be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/BowlTV, to get all the latest and greatest that USBC has to offer in video form, along with all the archives from the webcast here in Reno, Nevada, along with Lucas Wiseman as well, the globetrotting Lucas Wiseman. So he's all over the place, so he's bringing you great coverage as well. So please be sure to subscribe to that channel, as well as follow us on social media. The Sport of Bowling is on Facebook at facebook.com/USBC. USBC is also on Twitter, twitter.com/USBC. And of course, if you want the all the great insight that Matt Canizaro and myself have to offer, at USBC Matt, at USBC Aaron on Twitter, Matt Canizaro/USBC on Facebook. What's the number at on Facebook, man? Are you still more than 1,000?
We're pushing 1,100.
1,100.
I know. It's pretty unbelievable. And we've ran into some of those people at the National Bowling Stadium and around town here in Reno, so we certainly appreciate everybody who stops by just to say hello. As they say, even though it's these two faces, it's nice to put a face to the name.
Yeah, we met a gentleman today, fresh off 760 and a 2100. Stop by and say hi. And also another gentleman, Dwight Brumman, at Google famous. Was bowling these past few nights and made sure to let us know he was in town. So we went out and watched a few shots. Gave him the rundown of what was going on and some things to look forward to. So once again, we always appreciate folks taking some time out, introducing themselves. So be sure to, if you see the cameras up, stop and say hi. Don't use profanity though, because we have the live mics. So.
And if you're out there in TV land, we're pretty high tech here. You wouldn't know that by the start of this show. But you do have the ability to adjust the quality of your viewing. If you just go to the bottom of the video window, you'll see what looks like a gear shift. And it will allow you to choose a different quality to try to clear things up for you a little bit if you're having trouble seeing so well. Right now you're watching the start of game number 2. Great shot there by Rochelle Roventini. Things move along a little bit quicker here with these 4-player teams, and it really seems to be well received. Here going back to an all-scratch format and just 4 players. Makes it a lot easier to travel, fit everybody nicely, comfortably in a rental car. Often 4 to a hotel room. And it pairs off nicely for doubles and singles.
And we'll take a look at the scoreboard here after Tina's shot in the 3rd frame. High, leaving the 3-6.
Tell you what, Aaron, if you're a high school bowler right now or youth bowler and you want to look up to some of these super talented players, now's the time to tune in. So if you have a daughter out there, tune into BowlTV and you'll see some solid fundamentals and 8 really good players. Talented players next door as well. Pam Lawrence stepping up on lane 29. You see her on the right side of your screen as the sister of Robert Lawrence.
Rob Law.
Who's a big time guy down there in Texas and formerly on the PBA Tour and now the Senior Tour. Making some news, a great ball rep, works with Brunswick. Great bowling family there. You never know who you're going to run into at either the women's or open championships. A lot of great players try to sneak in or high profile even just come in. You just never know. And sometimes it's somebody brand new. The next generation perhaps looking to get in the mix.
Jonquay and Joey talking it over. I think a ball change is coming up for Jonquay here, so looks like a Roto-Grip Defiant Soul. Rolled nice there.
And also new this year, we mentioned new divisions, 4 average base divisions for the team event, 6 for doubles and singles. And all that very clear on the scoreboards now. So it tells you exactly which division these players are in. And the stars next to their names mean they are champions here at the Women's Championships.
first open of the day for Roxanne George.
So we're getting ready for the fourth frame here. Let's take a look at the scoreboard while we have this opportunity. Rochelle Robertini is going to step up on the right lane. Joey Biondo looking to lead off the fourth for Eagles Edge.
All right, we'll go up after Joey's offering here, looking to make it a double in the fourth. Takes care of business. So I saw a comment earlier, the Star, a new feature this year. Oh, Matt Canzaro said he just said that.
But dynamite drop in, Mr. Smith.
Thanks. Further proof that I pay attention. But yes, the Star indicating champion, so a cool new feature. But since you just explained that to everyone, I'm gonna just sit in my corner and not say anything for a while. But thanks for the stare when I mentioned that. I appreciated that. Great shot by Jennifer there. 25-55. The tally these teams are looking to surpass. So by Junior Team USA Support 1 out of Lincoln, California, nearly a month ago.
As we talked about a couple times, if you're looking to find success at these great events, you might want to name your team Junior Team USA Support. So that is also the name of last year's Team All Events winner at the Open Championships, Eric Vermilia, and his Junior Team USA Support 1 team. And again, of course, the Junior Team USA Support ladies getting it done here at the Convention Center.
See how the ball change works in the fourth frame. There's a double for Armon. '2001 Classic All Events champion. Looking to bounce back after a 166 in the opener. That's 3 out of 4 and 3 out of 4 frames for Eagles Edge Pro Shop. Roxanne comes in light again, leaving just the 2-pin this time. So we'll see how these ladies deal. The lane's starting to transition a little bit. Using the Kegel fire oil here at the Women's Championships. Once again, 41 feet is the pattern this year. Only one pattern for the Women's Championships, unlike the Open with 2 patterns. So these ladies will be back at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Get a chance to bowl on the Fresh again. There's a noon squad on the Burn. And then 2 team events. At 4 p.m. and of course at 7 p.m., which you're watching right now, Reno time. Out here on the West Coast. Close enough to it. Here's Biondo looking to make it 3 in a row. Mixes him up.
So Aaron, right now on the screens, the pairs we're not using, Just a reminder for folks, mybowlingvacation.com, the official travel site of USBC and these championship events. Of course, the 2015 Women's Championships will be back across town at the National Bowling Stadium, and it'll be joined by a brand new event, the USBC Mixed. So same average base divisions, 4 in team, 6 in doubles and singles, but the chance for all of these gentlemen who are standing along the rail watching to get in on the action. The mixed team event will feature 2 men and 2 women. We'll have mixed doubles as well, and an open singles event. So a lot of games can be bowled next year, and the USBC Mixed will follow the Women's Championships down the road. 2016, the events head to Las Vegas, to the new South Point Arena. 60-lane, $30 million facility being built as part of the South Point property that will host many USBC events in the upcoming decade. So looking forward to that. And of course the Open Championships will be at that facility in 2017. But if you're interested in the 2015 Women's Championships or the USBC Mixed, registration opens on June 3rd. We'll have more details about that and some great incentives going out next week and in the days to follow. So check your email, check out bowl.com, and start talking about 2015.
Roxanne George takes care of the 10 pin there in the 5th frame. We will go back to the scoreboard here after Tina's shot in the 5th. Started with a strike in the 1st and 3 spares in a row. Here's the delivery in the 5th. Takes care of business, all 10. $7.99 in the opener for Eagles Edge Pro Shop. Device, interchangeable thumb grips, $8.28.
Things moving along, and Biondo certainly helping, throwing a lot of strikes here in this team event. She is the Matt McNeil of the Women's Championships. Just got really comfortable on the big stage in the last few years. And no matter how many times Matt comes out to the Open Championships and tells us he just doesn't feel like he's throwing it well, or there's some extra butterflies, or something's just not right. An off year this year for McNeil, only shot 2034, which would be a career year for most of us. But there's just something about walking out on these lanes, knowing what you've accomplished in the last 3 or 4 years, that seems to make all that go away, at least from where we sit. It might be a mess on the inside, but certainly cool and collected up on the approach, and just one great score after the other. I have no doubt that after tonight's recap on bowl.com, we're going to be talking to one or more of these ladies sometime tomorrow afternoon. As Aaron mentioned, they'll be back at the Reno-Sparks Convention Center for doubles and singles at 8 a.m. Very familiar names in the chat room. Thanks for stopping by on this Wednesday evening. I know it's late there on the East Coast. These talented players, certainly with a big following in the Midwest especially.
Just some of the scores These ladies will be chasing tomorrow in Division 1, which is for bowlers with averages of 190 and above, for doubles 380 and above combined. Currently on top of doubles, 13-11, Jan Schmidt and Sarah Germano. Moving over to singles, we have Elisa Kelly, who fired a 299 in her finale to snake past Brandy Sanderson to take the lead. Both of them put on quite a show on the same day, just one squad after the other, but Lisa up on top from Wichita, Kansas, a 748. Brandy came in at 743. And then in all events, Stacy Watson out of San Diego, 6-11 in team, the big day in doubles and singles, 742 for a double set, 678 in singles for 2031. So that's what the goal will be tomorrow, but right now, all eyes on that 25-55. Can't win unless you're in the lead.
That's right. It's all about the team title for these players, and you can just see the chemistry and the camaraderie and just how much they enjoy being around each other. Well, not just here, but they're all over the place, bowling in events everywhere they can. And Eagles Edge took home that team title in 2011 and again last year. And to see their names hanging up there on the banner in the rafters has to be a pretty spectacular feeling. Of course, one they're a little bit familiar with now, but I bet it never gets old.
I would imagine that. It's probably tough to get routine, I imagine. But of course, we mentioned it several times. Obviously, the change from 5-player to 4-player last year. Tracy Lungsford was the 5th member of Eagles Edge Pro Shop last year, on the way to the second highest score in women's championships history of 33.57. Tracy will be back just a little over a month, only alongside some other great bowlers in the Chicagoland area, featuring Karen Evitz, or including Karen Evitz, who owns some tournament history here as well. 300 and during her double set in 2012. And her and Melanie DiCarlo shot 558 that game in doubles to set or tie the record score for the women's championships for a doubles game. So they certainly know how to throw some strikes, and we'll have an eye on them next month, right before the USBC Queens heads over to the National Bowling Stadium once again. June 27th to July 3rd. Have all the top ladies trying to take home the TR. We'll have the senior queens going on as well. Right after that, the senior championships. So a lot of excitement still left to come here. The biggest little city in the world.
Certainly, if you're coming to town for any of those events, you have the opportunity to bowl multiple events. And for the ladies, the women's championships, open championships, of course, the Storm Bowlers Journal Championships happening at the NBS as well. And downstairs at the track showcase lanes, the 40 frame game, a little bit of fun with your teammates. Go out and have a good time. A very unique handicap singles event. Had the collegiate players earlier in the year, as we mentioned. So if it's happening in Reno in 2014, or happening in bowling, it's happening in Reno. It's so exciting, I can't even talk about it.
It wasn't me for a change. I'm so happy.
But that's what keeps it easy for us and exciting. No 2 days are the same, even though they kind of are schedule-wise.
All right, we're going to take a quick look at the scoreboard here before Jonquay gets up there. Finishing up at the 7th frame here, looking to make it 5 in a row after the ball change. Able to get the 4-pin out.
By the way, if you'd like to check out what the banner looks like, posted that on Twitter not too long ago at USBC Matt. You can take a look, and I guess the best way to not have to fight over who gets the banner is just to win one every year. That way everybody can get in on the action.
It is a dynamite game plan there, Matt.
That's the fairest way. So far they're keeping up with that.
Joey strikes to kick off the 8th frame for Eagles Edge Pro Shop. Still has 240s out there again, so kicked off 2014 event with a 244. Let's see if she can keep it going here in game number 2. Keri Caduto joining in the action. 3 spares in a row. Once again, 2055, the number. $25.55. There we go. I forgot a 5 or something.
Yeah, 2055, not very good here in.
$25.55.
There we go.
There we go. All right.
Plus 155 if you're calculating along at home. 4-player teams, par score 2,400.
We've only had 3 teams reach the par mark so far, including the Love Muffins.
Aaron's been dying to say that.
Which featured Tracy Stevens, who rolled the first perfect game of the 2014 event just a few days ago. Since then, we've had another one, so strikes are rolling here at the RSCC. The 21st and 22nd 300s in the 95-year history of the event. Jerry Espinoza was the latest to do so after games of 154 and 155. Went back to the ball she started with. Found the right look to bowl her first career 300 game, so quite a place to do that.
So both of these teams striking their way to that 2,400 mark. As you can see, tonight's setup a little bit different. Instead of the 3-camera setup, unfortunately, we're down to 2 here at the Women's Championships. We might have to start that way next time. But for right now, we've got the action on 1 camera switching back and forth between that and the scoreboards. Eagles Edge Pro Shop, last year's scratch team winner, $7.99. And the Vice It Grips, $8.28. And many strikes on the board here in game 2. We're in the 8th frame. We'll let Jonquay get things done here in the 8th. Aaron is the man with the scoreboard. We'll take a look at that before Joey Biondo steps up once again. The foundation frames looking for a big finish here. Appreciate everybody stopping by. If you want to see the leaderboards, you can visit bowl.com/women's-champ, and you'll see all the news and notes, plus the scores. 4 divisions in the team event, 6 for doubles and singles, all average base, all scratch here in 2014. Great shot there by Biondo for the double. Got a newbie in the chat room, Joseph Heffler IV. Just learned a little bit about the 720p setting. Almost crystal clear. Thanks for joining us, Joseph.
All right, big 9th frame so far. Joey and Keri both striking. Pin stands for Jennifer there.
Dave Waswo in the house tonight. Host of the Bowler Show every Sunday. You can find that online, and yours truly. I have my own segment, so they must be desperate for commentary.
A late trip there by Armon. Getting the 10 out. They even gave you a theme song.
Yes, just kidding, Waz. I do appreciate the opportunity to come on every Sunday afternoon and talk Open and Women's Championships. I do have a theme song. Definitely my favorite part of the show. But if you're around Sunday afternoon, thebowlershow.com. Don't want to forget my other opportunity every Wednesday morning here on the West Coast out of Florida, the Let's Go Bowling Show with Bill Zubin. So just getting the word out every way we can. And hopefully Eagles Edge Pro Shop and the Vice It Grips crew will give us something to talk about on Sunday's show.
All right, Roxanne George stepping up to finish the 9th frame. We'll get one more look at the scoreboard. Eagles Edge makes it 5 in a row for the team. Roxanne leaves the 10 pin. Rochelle doubles to start the 10th frame though.
So Aaron, looks like we got a bit of an explanation here on the Jonquay situation from Lindsay Siegel. That she was carrying her ball by her thumb and rested it on her shoulder. It fell off while changing lanes and she tore a tendon. That sounds awfully painful.
It does.
But here she is, and she is striking away here in game number 2. So looks like maybe just took a minute to get loose and get some swelling down. But we're glad to see she's able to be out here with her teammates, the 2011 and 2013 champions. Looks like Eric Pearson, if he can figure out how to work the stanchion, he's going to come join us on the show. He said he is very familiar with all of these players from the Midwest. Eric from Waukesha, Wisconsin.
I apologize for all the shaking of the camera. That's Eric Pearson walking by.
Yes, the heavy-footed Eric Pearson. Shaking everything.
I don't think he realizes that these tables are wobbly.
I don't think he does, but can you tell him when he puts the headset on, please?
Certainly so.
All right. The not tiptoeing Eric Pearson, USBC Women's Championships Tournament Manager, and the lane guy here at the Women's Championships, the Open Championships, and many other great USBC events. Without further ado, here you go. Mr. Pearson coming right up.
All right, Joey finishes up at 232 to go with her 244 in game number 1. 197 in the books for Rochelle. And Eric Pearson.
Am I on, Aaron?
You are live,
You got
sir.
me taken care of?
Yes.
Thank you. How's it going?
It is going fantastic. We're watching some fantastic bowling here. The Eagles Edge crew putting it together here in game number 2 after a 799 start.
I see that.
Already in the 800s.
Very nice up there, right there. I see one open frame through 9 and a bowler. That's
true.
That's the way to take care of business right there.
Keri, who's going to attempt to cover this 2-8 here, had an open in the 2nd frame, and that's been it.
Not always the easiest spare here either. Let it hook into it, and does. What are we letting Matt Cannizzaro run off and do here? I mean, big shoes to fill for me.
That's true. He's going to handle all complaints and handle your emails as well. So.
You mean the million of them I haven't looked at all day?
Yeah, you're busy handing out trophies. Putting on the suit and tie.
Yeah.
All right. Caduto can get to 201 with his strike on the fill ball. Jennifer Grisham in at 192 after a double in the 10th. So looks like a ball change here for Keri. Goes to the orange ball, it appears.
Looks like it barely rolled up. Enough to strike. I'm not sure if enough to keep striking.
Here's Shannon Lebinsky. It's her second strike of the 10th. She's gonna have a nice game. She's gonna be in the 220s. All right, at 8:17. Eagles Edge can get close to that 900 mark. That's a great way to do it. Tina Becke delivering the double. This is what you expect out of a team that's been there before. 799, certainly a nice, not a bad start, but these ladies know they left some pins out there for sure. So bouncing back here in game 2. Looking to keep it going into game 3 and hope and pray that the power doesn't go out again.
Yeah, was that game 3 last year or early? I thought it was early in the block, no?
No, that was the middle of the 5th frame of game 3.
Well, wow.
True story.
Easily about what, 20 minutes maybe?
15, 20 minutes.
15, 20. Wasn't too bad, but I think we decided something like one ball in each lane after.
Got a little bit of practice to loosen up, and then
kind of have a policy that any type of breakdown, 10 minutes or more, you kind of make a judgment call. One on each is usually sufficient. I mean, even one just to throw a ball, but obviously the more time goes by. I know for me, even a 5-minute wait between games, I need a couple of shots to loosen back up, but I'm old.
You're ready for the senior tour, sir. So
what tour? Senior tour? Bowling?
PBA 50.
I can't bowl 3 games.
You made it through 6.
Maybe if there's like a cribbage tour or a
cribbage,
blackjack tour, maybe.
I've seen you play blackjack. I would avoid that one.
Pretty well. What do you mean? I'm just not good when the person sitting next to me at the table is a fellow left-handed USBC employee. Because he is bad luck.
So 199 for Roxanne to give Vice interchangeable thumb grips. 814. So
plenty of strikes up there. Maybe a couple too many opens. Not sure if they were splits or not. We lost the color feature on our scoreboards this year. It used to be a slightly discolored in the mark on the frame if it was a split, and somehow things all got reset and we lost that feature.
All right, here's the final shot of game 2. All 10 back for Jonquay. We'll go to the scoreboard here. 895, big nearly 100-pin improvement for Eagles Edge Pro Shop. Puts them at 1694. 1642 for the companion team out of Waukesha. Vice interchangeable thumb grips. So nice bounce back for Jonquay there after the 166 in the opener. Comes back with 237 to lead the way. Joey wasting no time, already up on the approach to start game 3.
So 80 and 40 over for the two teams.
That is correct.
What is our leading score?
25-55 is the leading total currently.
So 155 on the plus side. It's just a whole new atmosphere here, trying to get used to look at the numbers. Four-person teams this year. I still walk out and look up and have to stop for a second and get used to what I'm looking at as far as team totals.
So 861 for Eagles Edge Pro Shop to take a share of the lead in the finale here. A place they are all too familiar with in the past few years here at the Women's Championships. The Diamond Division winner in Syracuse in 2011 took home the scratch title right here at the RSCC in 2013. And of course, Joey Biondo taking home the Diamond All Events title in 2012 at the National Bowling Stadium, looking to make it 4 years in a row with a title at the WC.
Is that's tying a record or creating her own record?
She would actually become the 5th bowler in tournament history to accomplish that feat if she manages to take home a title again. But it hasn't been done since 1973 was the last year. So
back in the 70s, four in a row. What was the name?
Well,
was it a classic division, I would assume, type bowler?
Of course. It was Hall of Fame bowlers. So
I'm going to guess like maybe a Pat Costello or something along those lines.
Certainly a formidable guess, and another fantastic player out here, a USBC Hall of Famer. But here's the group. We we talked about him a little bit earlier. Agnes Higgins out of Chicago.
Sure.
1926 to 1929. Not in the Hall of Fame, but she's won a handful of titles here.
And I don't remember all the names. I've looked back through some of the records you've sent to me, and yeah, there were some ladies back in the 20s and the 30s from like your bigger bowling towns of the Chicagos, the Buffaloes, the things like that, where yes, just numerous years in a row, or 4 or 5 titles over the course of 7 to 10 years. Very common.
Very true.
Back in those days.
Our all-time tournament win leader, Dorothy Miller, with 10, did it over a 12-year span.
Yep. That's one that comes to mind.
But joining in the group as well, Marie Warmbier, also out of Chicago, 1930 to 1933. And then the other 2 ladies on the list were actually teammates and also USBC Hall of Famers, Dorothy Fothergill.
Oh, yeah.
And Millie Ignizio.
Oh, Billy, absolutely.
So
as well as, yeah.
So that is the group Joey is looking to join. 3 Hall of Famers and another lady who's had a fantastic career at the Women's Championship. So Joey putting her stamp on this tournament with authority. Although she misses the 1-2-4 there. She'll bounce back. 260 is still a good score.
Well, it's going to take a few to get to there, but I mean, just kind of watching it, right here at this point, you can definitely tell. And obviously, I know a bunch of these bowlers. Some are from my hometown. And a lot of these ladies make their way up to the Milwaukee area to bowl events. Many Illinois bowlers do come up and definitely helps make for some better tournaments up in our area. So I know a lot of the ladies, and then some of the boyfriends, husbands that have gathered here, bowling the Open tomorrow. Just talking with them a little bit. I said I wouldn't be surprised if you see everybody kind of migrate, maybe start around 10, maybe a little outside of 10, but they're going to end up migrating to the left. And I think what we've seen here, even over the last couple live streams, is once the bowlers do kind of develop that and do get inside of second arrow a little bit, it does look like the pin carry goes up, whether that's an indication of the pattern or just the way things break down. Once they're able to kind of open up those angles a little bit and move inside, you tend to see a little bit more striking going on.
Same getting the 10 out. Quite a few 10 pins early on in game number 1 from both squads.
They looked a little tentative. I mean, we put the squad on, recognized some of the bowlers, and I went and took care of some other details here. I didn't really watch a whole lot other than the first maybe 2 or 3 frames, and some of them looked a little tight, I have to say. little tentative when they first got going.
Jonquay has bounced back nicely after, I mentioned it before, 166 in the opener.
But I think you see that when, it's definitely not a sport pattern, but it's in the blue range. Yeah, it's not the easiest. It's not like bowling at home, even though these are all very high quality bowlers and capable. But you still have to come out and make pretty good shots, and there's not a lot of hold area, so regardless of where you are on the lane, you can't go too straight. You can't go too direct or pull the ball. And generally speaking, I think it's a little bit harder for women to come in and out of the gate, go left to right with the ball. They'd rather see them a little bit tighter, more oil where their ball maybe gets down the lane and holds a little bit. And I don't think you quite have that here. So the fact that they have to go away with the ball a little bit, maybe it just takes a few frames to get loose and get a feel for that. Or that's just how they've developed the lane, and now they feel absolutely comfortable moving a little bit left and bellying the ball to the right.
And we just showed you the scoreboard as well. A lot of strikes to start game number 3 here. As we see Jennifer Grisham up in the third, takes the 10 out. And we saw the same thing happen in our first live stream. You sat in on the third game, Lynn's Northern Stars. We saw the scores move up a little bit each game. There's Keri moving to something that probably sets up a little bit stronger on the back end, the Eruption Pro from Columbia 300.
It looked a little light on her last ball in the 10th, but obviously the last couple balls have faced up without any problem at all and been high flush.
So might have gotten that fill ball into the oil a little bit too much and skidded, but now that they have that bump spot out there that you were talking about, can kind of work off that. Shannon Lubinsky will step off the approach for a sec, make sure everything's right. So 861 for Eagles Edge Pro Shop.
Yeah, they definitely have the start. Both teams right now definitely have the start that they need to make a run at that top score. There's no doubt.
Very true.
A lot of good teams to come at the end of the tournament. Obviously, us hosting the Queens down at the Bowling Stadium at the end of June. We'll have most of your higher end diamond teams, I think, will be here that week. So just have to keep on doing what they're doing here and put up a big number.
We'll be bringing you many live streams that week as well, right here from the Reno-Sparks Convention Center. So we'll be keeping busy as those ladies will possibly be trying to take down the score we're going to see posted here. 861 for Eagles Edge Pro Shop, 913 for Vice interchangeable thumb grips to reach that 25-55 leading total.
Is that your circled number there? The what they need?
That is
number?
correct. Amongst my
113 over for 4 bowlers. Not a necessarily easy task, but could easily see a couple of 240s out there to get them the front, first 80 to 90 pins, and then all of a sudden you only need a couple of 2 teams. So
that was something we talked about on our last live stream, and with the folks who are leading, just the fact that you don't have the extra player to really hold it up if someone is struggling, that takes into effect more. So everyone has to be on their game, or at least not giving too much away, is what we've seen so far this year.
Yeah, you're saying everybody has to be a little bit more steady. Can't give back as many. And and you definitely don't have on both ends of it. You don't have that 5th bowler that can also necessarily go out and shoot that monster number and give you all the extra pins you need. So you could see it from both sides. Same reason though, it just makes all 4 bowlers be that much more steady.
Right now, 4 in a row for Rochelle. Jennifer's going to look to join her for Vice interchangeable thumb grips. Joey Biondo looking to make it a double here after an open in the 2nd frame. never a doubt, all 10 back. Former Team USA member. Taking care of business. So we'll get back to the scoreboard cam in just a minute here. See, Tina's shot goes to the nose.
Is that 5?
That is 5. The 3, 6, 7, 9, 10. So there's a look at the scoreboard right now. Both teams firing away here in game 3. See if Keri can make a run at this. Only gets 3, hard to imagine. Didn't get the 9 out and sent the 3-pin right at the 7. Able to get the hit. So when it's all said and done, we might be seeing these two teams in the 10th frame battling for the lead.
Yeah.
So once again, thanks to everyone for tuning in. We've got 250 folks strong here on a Wednesday night. I know it's 9 o'clock out here in Reno, so for folks on the East Coast, appreciate you staying up late with us. This is Aaron Smith and Eric Pearson bringing you Game 3, a team event at the Reno-Sparks Convention Center. Eagles Edge Pro Shop out of Carpentersville, Illinois, the 2013 Scratch Team Champion. They're back looking to become the first 4-player team to take home a title. We changed from 5 to 4 this year.
Yeah, big change. I mean, definitely in a situation like this, it's a little difficult. You know, you can't bring all 5 bowlers back to defend with the format change. I know their 5th bowler is scheduled to bowl in that week of June, I believe, when the Queens is here.
That's correct. Tracy Lungsford, the 2-time titleist, who should be back, like you said, right around June 20th, June 21st, I believe. Some other talented bowlers in the Chicagoland area. Karen Evans, part of that group. Three in a row for Joey there, kicking the 10 out. Here's Rochelle Roventini.
She threw that ball pretty firm compared to starting the night a little bit further to the right, just kind of rolling the ball. Looks like she stayed with the same piece of equipment.
I believe that's a roto grip disturbed, as Rochelle makes it a 5-bagger. Pin stands for Keri. Looking to bounce back after the split in the 4th frame.
Oh, I think Jen kind of fell off that one. Nope.
Got it to make the turn though.
Didn't look like she was real happy with it. Kind of like a little slip at the line, kind of lost her balance, and
looks good on the scoreboard.
not sure if she was afraid that it wasn't going to get back to the pocket, or if it got there, if it wasn't going to do anything.
4 out of 5 for Jen here in game 3. Here's Levinsky looking to.
And right now, I think, I mean, knowing the way most of the, at least the vice team throws the ball. I mean, they are right in a zone they want to be in. Just have that little bit of swing in the track area. A lot of their A games right now. They've got to be feeling pretty confident about where they're at. They can put up a really big number here. I don't know the bowlers on the other team. I don't know their games as well. A couple of them look a little bit deeper from the Eagles Edge team. But a decent start, but just it looks like they're having a little bit more trouble consistently getting to the pocket here early on.
Well, a perfect fifth frame for
halfway through the game.
The Vice group. This was actually, knock on wood, Eric Pearson, this was the moment in 2013. After the fourth bowler was up for Eagles Edge, Jonquay went to go get ready for fifth, and the lights went out. So if we make
fifth or sixth?
It was the fifth frame.
Well, they're done with the fifth frame.
Not quite yet.
That was the anchor bowler.
It was the anchor bowler. Jonquay, but everyone else had struck in the frame as well.
Okay, well.
And she came back and struck like it was nothing, like nothing happened.
I know we're in Reno here, gambling town. I'd gamble and say I think we're okay.
Certainly hope so.
That's kind of a freak thing that happened last year. It wasn't even within the building itself here. I believe it was like a sub power station on the south side of Reno here. I believe parts of the building here, and even as far down as the Pepper Mill, which is a few blocks away, had some issues in parts of the casino. So I think it was definitely something from the outside. Not the first time we've seen it happen at either the women's or the Open Championships, by the way. I remember an Albuquerque tournament where we had power out for a few hours.
Goodness. From
a power station that had caught fire miles and miles away. And I believe back in those days, 10:30 team event finished up just in time for us to recondition the lanes and get the 7 o'clock squad started at about 7:10. So that's how late we were that day. That's one of the worst I can remember.
Joey makes it 4 in a row as we start the 6th frame. Yeah, it's going to be a battle here to the end. See if they can get to that 25-55 number. Rochelle taking care of it by herself. 6 in a row to start game 3.
Yeah, it's good to see some of these bowlers back. I know a couple of them haven't bowled in the last couple of years, but an opportunity to bowl here at the women's as well as the Open down at the stadium is probably a good reason why some of them are back here. So
certainly a great opportunity, and of course we mentioned a few times the Queens and Senior Queens at the end of the run here at the Women's Championships gives those ladies a chance to not only participate at the Women's Championships, but the Open Championships as well, and then battle for that tiara. The 2014 USBC Queens is going to take place at the National Bowling Stadium June 27th to July 3rd.
That'll be a fun week. A very busy week, hectic a little bit. There are a couple of the days there where we are still conducting Open Championships squads in the AM. And then we have the Queens and Senior Queens qualifying and match play starting in mid-afternoon and running into the evening. So a little different. But just an opportunity to get all the tournaments in, have everything in Reno at the same time, same year. So some schedules are moved around in an effort to try and do things a little different. Coming back to Reno for the 2nd straight year for both tournaments. Down the road, obviously we're doing the Green Bay series for some of our tournaments. Masters has been moved to February, correct? Is that official?
That is correct.
Light shaker for Jonquay, doesn't get the 7. Oh, this looks like it's laboring a little bit. Even some of the strikes she's thrown. The 10's not going out with quite the authority that some of the other players have going on right now. Not sure if she needs to be deeper or Maybe she's covering a couple too many boards and the ball's just laboring. It's that tough decision though. If you move back to the right, does the ball read early and go high?
Well, she left the Greek church on 27 her last time up. Ball went through the face. So we'll see what the next move for Jonquay is. Here's Joey. Can make it 5 in a row after the open. Taking care of business. And the front 7 for Rochelle. So folks, 250 strong right now. Get on Facebook, get on Twitter. We'll let the folks know. We got the front 7 here at the USBC Women's Championships live on BowlTV. Rochelle Roventini.
Another 10 pin. Keri is not having any luck on that left lane.
Looks like the companion team, Vice interchangeable thumb grips out of Waukesha, Wisconsin. Looks like they want the spotlight here.
Wow.
Taking it from the defending team champs. Actually moved ahead in totals right now.
So bowling metropolis at this time right now.
It could be.
Waukesha,
Of course, at the USBC Open Championships, motion plus lanes. On top with a record score of 35-61. It says they're out of Cudahy, Wisconsin. I know one particular young man is from Waukesha on that team. Possibly a few more. Dave Barris is the Wizard of Waukesha. So
yeah,
I've been told.
I'm not sure if that's where he lives. But that all stems from it. He used to work at Red Carpet Lanes, Waukesha. That then turned into AMF Lanes, Waukesha. But yeah, Motion Plus decided to sponsor the team and change the name, and they went out and had a great year last year, and with the name change, a slightly better name. Better score with the new sponsor. Strikeout of Jonquay there. Can't really say what she did there. A little deeper.
Roxanne makes it 3 in a row. Picking up Shannon after the open frame. $25.55. Once again, the number these ladies are trying to get to for the diamond lead. Junior Team USA Support 1 out of Lincoln, California, currently on top. The plus 155. It's looking like it could go down here. 913 for Vice interchangeable thumb grips. 861 for Eagles Edge Pro Shop to grab a share of the lead. 6 in a row for Biondo. 244, 232. Mike Flanagan joining us.
I was going to say, is that did I just get an invitation?
It looks like you did.
It doesn't say pizza, does it?
It says nothing about pizza.
Oh, okay.
But inside bowling, Mr. Mike Flanagan. He's going to be out here, lacing up, tackling the lanes at the USBC Open Championships.
That needs to kind of hold back. No.
4, 6,
little
7.
inside and too direct. Fill up 2 here, get 2 on the strike, and hopefully run the last couple at the end.
Rochelle's string of strikes ended at 7. Great run there to start.
Hopefully she gets 2 here. Hopefully Shannon can get up and stop the bleeding here in the 8th. Get a couple strikes on the bottom and
Lets a few pins get away there. We'll see if those end up being costly in the end. 2 is 4 right there, Eric. Both teams very close right now.
yeah, I mean they're moving along quite just kind of on cruise control, it looked like there. So a little bump in the road here the last few balls. Obviously the string gets stopped.
Another 10 pin
Yep.
for Tina there.
It's like Eagles Edge just doesn't quite have the carry, obviously, at this point in time. See if Shannon can get him back on track here. Needs to hold. All right.
Bounces back nicely after the open in the 7th frame. 8th frame going on right now. So we have a race for the lead right here. These 2 very talented groups from the Midwest bowl a lot together back home, so they know their games. There's a great chemistry, great camaraderie amongst all these ladies, and they are showing it here live on BowlTV as Roxanne mixes them up for 4 in a row. We'll go back to the scoreboard after.
Now the leadoff bowlers on both teams have the big numbers going. Looks like room for 260.
268
out of Joey and,
Joey and
270 potential out of Rochelle. Like you said, you get those 2 big numbers out of the way right away. As have all the other bowlers just kind of chip in and contribute, and they'll get to that number no problem.
There's a look at the scoreboard through 8. Both teams very close here.
She's
Joey
throwing the ball
Biondo.
very firm, not covering a lot of boards.
Unfazed after the open in the 2nd. Responds with 7 strikes in a row. There's a reason she's won 3 titles here. Also owns a $299 on the championship lanes back in 2012 on her way to the Diamond All Events title. So we're going basically shot for shot here to for the lead. This is exciting stuff, folks. Once again, thanks for tuning in. Let your friends know. Eagles Edge and Vice interchangeable.
How about it?
Trading blows back and forth.
Keri finally strike on the left lane. I think she's happy to say I'm done there. Just got to go to work now on 28 here in the 10th and finish out that game, but a couple stubborn 10 pins for her. The last 2 times on 27. Rochelle back on track. I'm wondering if the 8th frame, if the team, now 2 of the bowlers struck when they get back there for the 10th frame, if they feel they're going to have to throw the ball different or make some type of a move, or did they just not throw shots that they were happy with? First, they got some business to do here in the 9th frame.
That is correct, Mr. Pearson. Eagles Edge performing like you'd expect under the circumstances. All 3 bowlers so far have struck. Armon getting ready to deliver the final shot of the 9th frame for Eagles Edge. 25-55, once again the number. Having all 4 strikes in the 9th, a fantastic way to attempt to take that down. Jennifer covers the single pin there. See if Shannon can double. Fantastic shot there by the 3-time titleist. All right, Lubinsky looking for a double of her own.
Big shot.
All 10 back. It's the 10 out late.
Yeah, I'm sure not happy with the open a couple frames ago, but early turkey in the middle of the game, and now bounces back with a big double there. And a chance to still put up a nice number with a double in the 10th.
All right, here's Roxanne. 5 in a row. We'll get a quick look at the scoreboard here. 10th frame action about to get underway. Talk about a race for the lead. 24-22, 24-15, slight advantage to Eagles Edge. Working on the extra strike. Rochelle leaves the 6-pin. We'll see if Biondo can make it 8 in a row.
That needs to hold.
Fantastic shot there, 8 in a row, 260 still out there. Maybe they're not ready to hand it over just yet.
Not yet.
Each team pushing each other here. This is an exciting finish. Thanks again.
Let's just see a spare here out of
for
Rochelle.
tuning in.
Clean this up.
No.
Throw a good shot in the fill ball. Get the rest of the team fired up here to put on a big finish. So that's what you needed. They needed 100 and something over, and can't ask for more than your leadoff bowler going out and getting half of it all by herself. Fantastic game.
Biondo 9 in a row. Wowza.
So I wasn't sure what they were going to do going back to that lane. And that ball's going high too.
A fantastic 258 finish for Rochelle there after games 187 and 197. Biondo 244, 232 in the 260s already.
Got a couple doubles working on the bottom for Vice.
Joey Biondo putting on a show, 268. For 744. Grisham responds with a strike of her own. Slight advantage now going to Eagles Edge as Keri Caduto steps up in the 10th on 28.
Be nice to see Jen catch the double here. That's a pretty good shot.
All right, big double by Grisham. Caduto looking to match. Delivers in the 10th, perfect 10th frame so far for Eagles Edge Pro Shop. Here's the final shot for Jennifer. Big count, gets 9, 211.
That's a great 10th frame out of Jen. Shannon sitting with a double up. Roxanne's got a solid game on the bottom.
All right, good place forward for Keri. 216. The big double in the 10th.
Pretty good ball. Nope, stubborn 10 pin. All right, solid game here. Has got to clean this up and fill the 10th and let Roxanne go to work on the bottom. She's got room for what,
257. 257 still. Here's Tina looking to double up. Showing why they have their name in the rafters here. Up on a championship banner, Eagles Edge Pro Shop. Closing with authority. They are technically, they still need pins, but we will have a new leader for sure. More than likely, new first and second place here at the Women's Championships for the Diamond Division. 25:55 was the number. These ladies are cruising past that. It's just a matter of how much at this point. Here's Tina. Second shot of the 10th, looking to make it 3 in a row. The 10-pin stands again. So Shannon finishes up with 214.
You always carry the fill ball, right?
Very solid performance. 214, 226, 214. I believe that's 654. Off of my quick math there. So it might be wrong. Tina covers it up. 215 for her. So here's the scenario.
There's a big shot for Roxanne.
If Eagles Edge matches, they are in the lead here, right where they left off in 2013. Jonquay delivers. So we're going to be in the 2600s, first 2600 here at the Women's Championships. Roxanne still getting as much as she can from the Vice interchangeable thumb team. They're going to be just short of that 2600 number. Add 10 more on, 2582, so they will move into second. Now it's just a matter of how much for Eagles Edge Pro Shop, the 2013 Scratch Team Champion, putting on another performance live on BowlTV back-to-back years. The 10th frame like that, showing up when they need it. Fantastic effort by their companion team. 256 for George. 939 and 2581 for Vice interchangeable thumb grips out of Waukesha, Wisconsin. We have one more shot here. Jonquay is going to wrap it up for Eagles Edge as they move into the lead once again. Takes all 10, 235. For 26-28. So the teams are congratulating. A lot of hugs going on right now.
Fantastic shooting.
So we're going to catch
all
up
around
with them a little bit for bowl.com, but we'll show you the scoreboard in just a second.
5 opens out of both teams the whole game. A lot of strikes, obviously. Filling frames where they needed to.
Well, this is what we expected out of this group.
Yep.
And they did not disappoint here live on BowlTV.
Well, Aaron, I don't want to leave you hanging, but I have places to be.
You do. You have to hold up our legacy in the Employee League. But Eric Pearson, thank you for joining us.
I think I can go put up a decent number with no practice balls. But thank you.
We have faith in you. USBC Women's Championships Tournament Manager Eric Pearson joining us on the call today. Once again, you're looking at the scoreboard of our new first and second place teams in the Diamond Division. Eagles Edge Pro Shop, 26-28. Companion team Vice interchangeable thumb grips, 25-81, first and second here at the Women's Championships. Fantastic bowling all around. Strong finish for both teams. 934, 939, almost matched each other. So that is going to wrap up our broadcast for this evening. So we want to thank everyone once again for taking the time out to join us here on a Wednesday night at the Reno-Sparks Convention Center. Our next live broadcast on BowlTV will be taking place in just a few days, May 17th at 11 a.m. Reno time, 2 p.m. Eastern. USBC Hall of Famer Jeff Riggles, lifetime average leader Gail Myers Jr., Steve Richter, Mike Shady, Mark McDowell. We're going to showcase the 11thframe.com doubles and singles event live on BowlTV, so be sure to tune in on May 17th. But that's going to do it for now. On behalf of Matt Cannizzaro and, of course, Eric Pearson, who joined us for that last game there as we saw both teams make their run up the leaderboard. We want to thank you all for stopping by and joining us today. So to steal Matt Cannizzaro's send-off, that is the news for now, folks. We'll see you on the lanes. Thank you again.